So that right there is a huge difference in speed. If we go back to the previous diagram where I had hubs in place, and we're talking about the algorithm of determining my bandwidth for Ethernet, think about this. If I simply replace all my hubs, I got 100 ports of hubs on my network, and my users doing fast Ethernet were doing 400K per user. If I replace all of those ports with switches, I've now gone on a per user basis from 400K per user to 200 megabits per user, sticking with fast Ethernet. See the difference in speed there? It's enormous. So the technology of providing switches down to your desktop is absolutely key. Now here's the other thing. You can't even buy a hub today. Go to the local computer store and look for a hub. They won't have it. Or if it says hub, be careful. I actually purchased quite a few Netgear hubs just recently for a lab. And hubs are actually really useful for some interesting things like doing inserting a tool like Wireshark in between a conversation. So if you wanted to wiretap a telephone conversation and listen to somebody's voice over IP calls, of course that's from a security perspective and we had permission to do it. But to do that, you'd insert a hub in between somebody's connection, do the whole thing on cutting the wire and putting 2 new ends on it and all that fun stuff. And then you could plug in something like Wireshark to actually watch the conversations that went by and replay the voice traffic for somebody's conversation. Hubs have their uses, but all those Netgear hubs that I bought, and it said right on the box, Netgear hub. And yes, I'm slamming Netgear, and you can take it right to Netgear and tell them that I didn't appreciate this. Because every single one of those boxes that said Netgear hub, they were all switches. Every one of them, all 20 of them or 25 of them that I purchased. I actually had to go to a used computer shop and buy a bunch of hubs to do the labs that I wanted to do for my security course. So if you still have some hubs floating around, you might want to hold on to it because they still have their uses, although we probably won't want to deploy them in my modern networks.